He's a Boomba Rastafari. Motherfucking. I don't want you there. I want you there. I want you there. I mean, I just fucking everything everywhere. Oh, okay, we'll put some of this bad boy shit on. I can't fucking hear the thing. So it makes me wonder. What audio am I on? I mean, am I an idiot? But apparently audio is not audioing. Why have you not an idiot? Hello? Why is it coming out on my AirPods today? Wait, what? This shit that I just don't understand. Okay, there we are. That's better, and I just need to connect the controller. Oh, thank the Lord, right, okay. Technical difficulties there. Get my stream off as well. Oh, I got a tea and everything, bro. Can't guess. Right, I'm gonna put some blood, sweat, and tears into this game today. As everyone knows, on the weekend, it's training day. You know? We ain't got time for that tomfoolery, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got lock-in time, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no time for fanning about. Today's the day. Or I'll learn the 360 max up reset. No, I don't. I just put my controller. I just put it down. On my knee. I seen some guy do it. And it looks like the coolest shit ever, bro. I really need to learn how to do it. I have no idea where to begin. I have no idea where to begin. Okay. Why does Epic Games do this, bro? That is the weirdest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Leave me alone. Let moist toilet play, bro. Now, I have no idea. I briefly know how to do the Mac stuff, but I have no idea how to do a 360 one. But it looks fucking sick, bro. So I need to learn this stuff. Like, I have no idea. I actually have no idea. I don't even know like where to put my controller. And all of the tutorials as well. They're not like, they don't really give you a good example of it. It's really annoying. No, bro. You on the way back yet? What is going on, my shit, bro? I need to warm up first, though. Feels so clunky, bro. So heavy, bro. It's not doing what I want it to do. How did he do it? Someone like, oh, like, he did a wall. I just have no idea how he did it. I need to watch a video on this shit, bro. What was it? YouTube.com, okay. Before you that.
Tryna play tough, but she looking over like she knows what's up. One look, one eye, that's bad love. No way you think I'm not doing it right when you see.
How to do a 360 MacTuff in under 60 seconds. First you want to learn this motion. In order to do that, you must have directional arrow. For arrow left, you want to go to this angle, backflip cancel, and arrow slightly to the left. For arrow right, you want to go to this angle, backflip cancel, and arrow slightly to the right. Once you understand the motion, now you have to apply it. Start by going up the wall and getting a reset. Make sure that the ball isn't too close to your card when you get the reset. If you need to, use some boost to keep some space between you and the ball. After that, use the motion that you learned to get the MacTuff reset. Next, you can either get more resets, do a musty flick, or just score the shot.
What did my mom just say, bro? And this is like some simple steps you can do later.
First you want to learn this motion. In order to do that, you must have directional arrow. For arrow left, you want to go to this angle, backflip cancel, and arrow slightly to the left. For arrow right, you want to go to this angle, backflip cancel, and arrow slightly to the right. Once you understand the motion, now you have to apply it. Start by going up the wall and getting.
I need someone who's teaching me this in my air role. Because what my man has just said to me, bro. My man has just said to me, bro, you need to do some mad thing like that, mad thing like this. What the fuck it? What the fuck did my man just say, bro? I don't know. And this guy, I was like, why does everyone teach at me? Oh my god. I've watched these. Okay. 1 minute video. Let's hear this then. Let's hear this then.
Hey guys, today I will be showing you how to 360
Oh
MacTuff.
god.
Step 1. Get a square dead zone if you're on PC. It's simple, but if you're on console, make your air sensitivity
Square dead zone. The fuck what are you on about? Hold on. There's complications behind this. What the fuck is a square dead zone, bro? How the fuck does that make any sense, bro? What?
Yo, so today I'm just gonna teach you very quickly how to get square dead zone, because I get this asked a lot in my server. So there's 4 ways of doing it straight away. Console players can only get square dead zone with a controller that has a built-in square dead zone. That's about it. Before we get into it, I want to make sure that you understand why you would want to make the switch to square dead zone. So I'm going to teach you very quickly the reason why you want to switch to square dead zone. If you want more information about square dead zone, how to tweak it to feel it the way you want it to, then we'll get into that in another video. But for now, I'm just going to teach you the basic reasons why you would want to switch. So before you even switch to square dead zone, you first have to understand the limitations of cross and circle dead zone. So whenever you move your stick around in circles, you'll see this input. So these are the real inputs that the game registers. And just a little disclaimer, every single controller that you use will have different little inputs around here. So right now I'm going to connect a couple of controllers and you'll just have to see the difference between each shape, just so that you understand that every controller has a different feel. And once you understand that, we can go into why you would need to switch to a square dead zone in your case. Now I have the PS5 controller connected, and now you'll notice that there's a slight change. It doesn't change as much here, but you will notice that the amount of inputs that connect with the bottom line in the inputs square is a lot larger, and so a lot more will connect with that input line. So that's important to remember. There's this bottom line where the input is fully a backflip or a full input down, and here there's a full input to the right, and here's a full input up. And so there's a lot more, or not a lot, but slight change in the amount of inputs that are full side inputs,
I have no idea what he's saying.
Forwards inputs or back inputs.
Right now he's just spinning his controller in a circle. I can do that as well. Does that make me impulse now?
So now I have my Thrustmaster controller connected. One thing you'll notice straight away is, one, the inputs are way more consistent. So this controller specifically is very good at controlling the amount of inputs, full inputs you have on the side, down, right, and up. So it's going to be very consistent in the directions at which you can move your stick to get specific inputs. So that is very good, but still it doesn't change as much. You will notice in your controller, maybe if you want to try this plugin, you will notice a slight difference between each controller. So now let's get into the limitations. So the reason why most people want to switch to square dead zone is because they constantly struggle controlling their flip cancels, and you see every freestyler being able to do this insane flip cancels, and you just can't control it. You just try and do flip cancels, but they don't work as good as you want them to. So basically, you first need to understand what flip cancels are and how they work before you even do the switch to square. So a flip cancel has 2 criteria. So in order to control a flip cancel as you're canceling, you have to first do a perfect front flip. That's the first criteria. So if you don't do a perfect front flip, it will be a diagonal input. And if it's a diagonal input, you won't be able to control the cancel as well. So when you do diagonal inputs, notice how if I do a diagonal cancel, I really can't use my arrow till the cancel is complete. There we go. So it's not until I am done with the cancel that it turns back into the position I want it to. And now the second criteria for flip cancels is that you need to have a full backflip input in the case of front flip cancels. If you want to do a backflip cancels, of course, you'll need a full front flip input. So when you have a front flip and you combine it with a full backflip input, you'll notice that at some point here, you don't actually have the full backflip input. So really, you can't cancel over here. So you only have this little amount of space to actually do the cancel properly. And now the second thing you'll notice is that if you want to make your front flips or your back flips, so the first criteria, a little bit more consistent, what you'll usually want to do is you'll usually want to increase your controller dead zone. So if I increase my controller dead zone, this is something you do for stalls to get them more consistently. You increase your controller dead zone to get them more consistently. And now what you'll notice is that the area I have to do perfect front flips and perfect back flips increases because I'm going to be more consistent with them. However, the area of full backflip inputs and full front flip inputs decreases. So now I have this amount of area to work with to actually control my cancels to the right or to the left as I'm canceling. I am feeling two criteria. I am feeling the perfect front flip and I am doing a full backflip input, but the amount of area I have to actually, so I can't really cancel. I need to the right side where you can area. So now I can cancel and move my car to the right or to the left. Of course, some people say that it's because you want to feel fast whenever you're using aerial. First of all, you shouldn't really be using free aerial if you want to freestyle. Every freestyler always uses dedicated aerials. So if you're gonna try and learn something like this, just make the switch. It doesn't make sense keeping free aerial if you're gonna start learning this kinds of complicated stuff. So first of all, just switch. And yeah, it's mostly just because of that. That's why pro players don't really care about that. I mean, they don't need it. And freestylers...
Can I say fuck it, let's do it.
So, for console players, you have pretty much only two options, unfortunately. The first option is get a controller that has built-in square dead zone. Now, from what I know, the DualSense Edge, the PlayStation DualSense Edge, doesn't have square dead zone, so that's a shame. Hopefully they add it. It has the Thrustmaster. Once you have it in there, the only thing you have to do is a simple click of a button.
Let's see if I've got it. If not, we're gonna have to do it the dodgy way. Plug it in. I really can't be able to plug it in. Just plug it in. Plug this bitch in. Sweet, sweet input lag, motherfucker. Okay, a minute. No, let's see. Hold on, I think we need to do it. That was quite a waste of my time. Alright.
Saving the profile, and you will have square dead zone. That's it. Now, when you don't have square dead zone, what can you do in order to get the same inputs? So if you can't have square dead zone and you can't afford a controller that has built-in square dead zone, what you can do right there. Now the second way to get square dead zone, and the one I recommend the most, is using the Steam controller configuration. If you're on Epic, you can still do this. I'll leave a link in the description so that you can add Epic games to your Steam library, run Epic games through Steam, and use the Steam configuration.
How to play Epic games with a controller?
Howdy y'all, brother Caleb here, coming at y'all with a little quick tutorial to show y'all how to hook up y'all's controller to play any Epic games that you're trying to play, but you're having a hard time trying to play them because Epic's doesn't have controller configuration. So it's pretty hard to try to play any game that you have on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how to do that, how to set everything up. And for any other person that's coming here having another issue related to that, which I will show on later in the video, to go and set up our controller real quick. So what you want to do is you want to come up here to this little icon, big picture mode. We're going to go ahead and click on that. Going to make all these pixels, all these loud noises and all that. Pretty simple. Then we're going to go to settings. Next